How do broker fees work when selling real estate in New York City? We'll demystify this topic in the following video. I'm Nikhil Housett. We can save you money when buying, selling, or renting here in New York City, Long Island, the Hudson Valley, or South Florida. Learn how by visiting housett.com. That's Housett with an A. So let's get started. So how do broker fees work when selling here in New York City? Well, you may have heard about 6%. 6% is more or less the customary amount of total commission you pay as a seller here in New York City. Now, ordinarily, that 6% is designed to be split equally, in most cases, between the listing agent, i.e. the person who you've hired as the seller's representative, and the buyer's agent, the person who's representing your purchaser. 3% to one, 3% to the other, the total is 6%. So if you just contact a random agent and say, I want to sell my place, can I hire you? They'll send you a listing agreement and the commission amount will say 6%. The commission is payable at closing only if you close in most cases, but refer to the listing agreement that you're about to sign to confirm this. Now that we know the total commission is generally 6%, you may very well be wondering, can this be negotiated? After all, 6% is an egregious amount of money, especially when you consider the fact that there are tons of properties in New York City that cost $1, $2, $3 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, $50 million. Broker fees, literally 6% on a $50 million sale, can actually be several million dollars. And this is on top of your other closing costs, which you can actually accurately estimate by using Housett's seller closing cost calculator. The URL is below in the description on housett.com. So the answer to whether or not you can negotiate commission is sort of, yes, kind of. It's kind of a bit gray. If you push hard enough with most brokers, you could probably get them down to 5%. That's 2.5% to the listing agent and 2.5% to the buyer's agent. Now, it's very tough to go below 5%. Most of the time, the firms will simply not allow their agents to agree to such a low commission. So you're pretty much most of the time going to get stuck at 5%. Fortunately, there are services out there which allow you to save a lot more and potentially save the entire 6%. Here at Housett, we have our Housett Agent Assisted FSBO listing, which is akin to a flat fee MLS listing service, where we basically list your home in the same way a traditional broker does, in all of the same places, and we allow you to run the process. So you do the showings, you negotiate, and so forth. Now, if the buyer comes without an agent, you're going to pay 0% commission. You're going to be totally in the clear, aside from a nominal flat fee, which we charge of a few $100s. That fee is only payable to us if you close. Now, if the buyer has an agent using our assisted FSBO model, then you would only pay the buyer agent commission, which you get to set when you list. So 2.5% or 3%, it's up to you. So in conclusion, with this service, Housett Agent Assisted FSBO, you can save up to the full 6%, and otherwise you will save at least half of that total 6% commission. We also have another service, which we call 1% full service, and this is designed for a seller who wants to save money but doesn't necessarily have time to assume the responsibilities of a traditional agent. So the fee is 1% to the listing agent, and this is a full service listing. So it includes everything from initial pricing, analysis, comps, reviews, to obviously professional HDR photography, 3D virtual tour, all of the media, preparing the listing, doing the listing description, syndicating, advertising it, doing the open houses, showings, second showings, and negotiating, vetting the buyer's financials, particularly in the case of a co-op, but broadly for all types of properties, and helping with getting to that accepted offer and everything that comes after accepted offer all the way through to closing. That's called 1% full service. Now, if the buyer has a buyer's agent, you would pay 1% to us, 2.5% to the buyer's agent. Your total would be 3.5% compared to 6% with your traditional broker. And if the buyer does not have a buyer's agent, we would not charge that 1% and we would simply collect the 2.5% buyer agent commission in this example. So your total fee for full service would be between 2.5% and 3.5% all in for the exact same scope of work, the same offering that a traditional full service agent would offer you, who's charging 5 or 6%. So it's real savings, real money there without any form of trade-off or sacrifice. You can actually view all of our deal history, closed transactions on our website, houseit.com, and simply Google Houseit Reviews to hear what current and former clients are saying about us. So we've gone over many things in this video. We've talked about the gold standard, which is 6%. We've talked about how that's ordinarily split equally between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. We also talked about how you can save money by negotiating down that commission, or you can just go right to the Houseit Assisted FSBO service or Houseit 1% full service to save even more money and potentially up to the full 6%. Now, the one thing we'll leave you with before we end this video is the scenario where a buyer does not have an agent. If you hire a traditional full-service broker, 6%, and the buyer does not have an agent, ordinarily the agent will still get to collect the entire 6% commission. Even though there's no one to split it with, the agent doesn't give you any form of discount. So this is obviously quite unappealing, and in general, this is something that we think you may want to definitely explore with your agent to see if they're willing to discount it at all if the buyer's unrepresented, or simply go with one of the Houseit services, as we talked about, where you're automatically going to save money if the buyer does not have an agent. We'd love to chat if you're thinking of selling. Team@houseit.com, 888-494-8258, or our website, houseit.com. That's Houseit with an A. I'm Nick at Houseit. If you like this content, please do subscribe to our channel, and feel free to leave a comment below with whatever's on your mind. We'll see you on the next one.